Hello and welcome back to the Statman Dave YouTube channel. I'm of course Statman Dave, and today we're going to be looking at how Emery could set up Arsenal this season. This video is brought to you with OneFootball. Download the link for the official OneFootball app in the description below, and remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course. Like that goddamn video, turn the notification bell on. Anyway, let's get this party started. The 2018-19 season was Arsenal's first without Arsene Wenger as manager for 22 years. Wenger's replacement, Unai Emery, started strongly, going on a 22-game unbeaten run before injuries and a loss of form saw Arsenal fall just short of Champions League qualification, finishing 5th, but also losing the Europa League final to Chelsea. But after another pre-season under the Spanish tactician and some much-needed additions, Arsenal looked to be going into the season strong. So let's talk tactics. Last season, Emery started with a 4-2-3-1 before shifting to a diamond, a 3-4-3 before finishing the season with a 3-4-1-2. But this season, I think Emery will return to the 4-2-3-1, the system that was the backbone of Emery's Sevilla side that won 3 consecutive Europa Leagues. The hallmarks of that side were ball-playing centre-backs, 2 ball winners in midfield, and a playmaking number 10. However, depending on the opposition, the playmaker could be moved deeper with a target man number 10 added in. From centre-back, they look to get the ball quickly wide and attack with width. They create chances from overlapping fullbacks before they fire the ball low into the box or look for cutbacks for teammates. We saw elements of that style of play last season, but not to the level of Emery's Sevilla. They relied heavily on the strike partnership of Aubameyang and Lacazette to create most of their goals. This season, however, expect Emery's style of play to shine through, especially if Emery does go to that 4-2-3-1. And if you do want to keep up with all your Arsenal news, then OneFootball is the app for you. The download link for the app will be in the description below. Once you've got that, you can follow your favourite teams. Then you'll get a news feed with all your favourite teams' latest news, videos and transfers. So you'll stay ahead in this busy transfer window, and don't tell all your friends that Sami Khedira is joining Arsenal. On to personnel. Bernd Leno will appear in goal after inheriting Petr Cech's number 1 jersey, with a centre-back pairing of Socrates, Papastathopoulos, and unfortunately for Arsenal fans, Mustafi, at least until Rob Holding returns to fitness, although Callum Chambers could be an interesting option. At fullback, I expect Ainsley Maitland-Niles to hold down the right-back slot until Hector Bellerin returns from his ACL injury. At left-back, Sead Kolasinac is too poor defensively to play 38 Premier League games in a back 4, which is why Arsenal have shown so much interest in Celtic's Kieran Tierney. But how would he slot in? In pre-season, we've seen a lot of Arsenal centre-backs with the ball around the halfway line, hitting either long diagonals onto the wingers or knocking the balls into the channels for the forwards to chase down, getting Arsenal attacking wide quickly. From these wide positions, the overlapping fullbacks provide the attacking option. Kieran Tierney would fire in low crosses, whilst Hector Bellerin would hit the byline and look for those cutbacks. Whilst Kolasinac could do this side of the role as well as Tierney, it's going backwards where Tierney surpasses the Bosnian. In the Europa League last season, the Scottish international won 1.7 tackles per game and was dribbled past just once in 6 appearances, whereas Kolasinac attempted 1.7 tackles per game, winning just 1 of them. The extra defensive solidity provided by Tierney would provide more cover for the shaky centre-backs, whilst not losing that attacking output of Kolasinac. In his 4 full seasons at Celtic, Tierney has been directly involved in 30 goals in just 95 SPL games, a rate of a goal involvement every 3 games. Granted, it's a worse standard, but Tierney's average over 4 seasons is better than Kolasinac's last season from left wing-back. We saw the impact of defensively good but creative fullbacks can have last season, with Liverpool accruing 97 Premier League points, largely thanks to the 23 assists that came from Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. In Tierney and Bellerin, Arsenal would have 2 fullbacks more than capable of hitting double figures for assists in an Unai Emery team. Onto the midfield, and the composition of the midfield 3 would vary depending on opposition. In the bigger games, you're more likely to see a double pivot comprising of 2 ball winners and a playmaking number 10, whilst against a weaker opposition, a slight tweak, bring in an extra playmaker. Arsenal's standout player last season, especially in the bigger games, was Lucas Torreira. The Uruguayan pitbull added aggression into Arsenal's midfield that's been lacking since the days of Gilberto Silva. Torreira averaged 3 tackles per game, winning 67% of them in the Premier League last year. Arguably, his best performance came in the North London derby. Not a bad way to introduce himself to the Arsenal faithful. A goal, won 3 out of 3 of his tackles and finished the game with a 90% pass accuracy. Impressive, considering Pochettino's pressing style of play. In terms of Lucas Torreira's partner, Arsenal may have found their man. Dani Ceballos has joined on a season-long loan from Real Madrid. He joins for a reported loan fee of £15 million. Ceballos is a roaming playmaker in the mould of Luka Modric. A roaming playmaker is the heartbeat of his team, looking to get on the ball all over the pitch and dictating the play, often dropping deep to get on the ball to start attacks, then appearing to receive a pass in the final third to round off the move. Ceballos is very much of that ilk, injecting pace into the attack from deep, then playing a second or first assist pass in the final third. Spain dominated the under-21 championships over the summer, and Ceballos with Fabian Ruiz were their standout players. Spain set up in a fluid 4-2-1-3, with Rui and Ceballos in midfield, with the latter being the more advanced midfielder. From this position, Ceballos roamed into a deep position to dictate the play, as seen by his second assist pass versus Poland. Ceballos dropped deep to pick the ball off Roca, played forward to Zabala's feet, then the play developed. He then picked it up in the final third, passed and moved, picked it up again from a layoff, pulled off a wonderful bit of skill, played a through ball to Martin on the overlap, who provided a low cross, and it was a goal. This encapsulates his style, playmaking all over the pitch. At the Euro Under-21 Championships, Dani Ceballos' stats per game were absolutely class, showing his overall side of his football. He averaged 76 passes per game, an accuracy of 90%, 3.8 take-ons, 3.6 fouls won, 3 shots, 2.8 key passes, 2 tackles won, 1 interception, and 0.8 goals or assists per game. Incredible stats. But how would he fit into Arsenal's midfield? Well, he could either play in defensive midfield or attacking midfield. As we mentioned, the midfield in Unai Emery's 4-2-3-1 can take different forms based on the opposition and situation. Against the weaker teams or in games that Arsenal want to take the initiative, Dani Ceballos could partner Lucas Torreira deep in midfield, dictating the play similar to how Iva Banega would do for Emery's Sevilla. This would allow Emery to play an extra attacker in his side and add extra creativity in Mesut Ozil in number 10, behind that potent front three that we'll discuss very soon. Alternatively, if Emery wants to play more aggressive, a more counter-attacking style, he could either add Joe Willock or Matteo Guendouzi in central midfield and push Ceballos into number 10, a player that thrives when games become a little bit more like a battle, like Luka Modric. Riding pressure, being aggressive off the ball, Ceballos is the perfect dynamic player who can play 2 key positions for Emery, depending on the approach. If Ceballos is deployed in defensive midfield, it allows Emery to squeeze Mesut Ozil into number 10. Ozil is too good a talent to give up on, especially against weaker sides who sit in low, compact blocks. If he can return to his best, he'll be considered a new signing, considering how anonymous he was last season. Last season was his first Premier League campaign since his debut season that he created less than 3 chances per game, and in his debut season he created 2.9. It's not outlandish to suggest playing Ozil in his best position with 3 pacey forwards ahead of him can return him to his former glories. With a front 3 of Aubameyang, Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe, now goddamn that is a pacey front line. Not only will Lacazette drop off the line to link up and create space for Ozil, but Pepe will make runs Ronaldo used to make at Real Madrid from a wide wing position, out to in. Another similarity, it is off the ball movement between Ronaldo and Pepe. Pepe has the ability to ghost in at the back post. At Real Madrid, Ozil would often make runs from number 10 in behind the defence before firing the ball across for Ronaldo to arrive late to finish. For Lille last season, Pepe did this a couple of times, notably against Nimes. The left-back popped the ball into the channel for Rafael Leo to pick it up. The number 7 then drove into the box and fired the ball across for Pepe. The Ivorian had made a run from a harmless position out wide to the back post and stayed unmarked. And it's this intelligent movement that will get the best out of Ozil. We know that Lacazette will come off the line to link the play, vacating space for Aubameyang to run into. But how will Pepe slot in? Pepe is a left-footed right winger, and modern-day inside forward made in the mould of Mo Salah. His finishing is unnaturally calm, and his composure saw him score 9 out of his 10 penalties in Ligue 1 last season. We've already mentioned his off-the-ball movement in a goal-scoring sense, but also helps to create for teammates. He was the first player in Ligue 1 last season to both score and assist 10 or more goals, and this balance will be invaluable at Arsenal, allowing Emery to blend his front three of a creator in Lacazette, a goal scorer in Aubameyang, and a player that can do a bit of both in Nicolas Pepe. On top of the first team, Arsenal have a frightening crop of young attacking talent that can be more than capable of stepping up when called upon. Eddie Nketiah has been on fire in pre-season, scoring 3 goals in 104 minutes in the International Champions Cup, including a winner against Bayern Munich. 17-year-old Bukayo Saka also looks ready for the Premier League this season. In his 12 appearances in the Premier League 2 last season as a left winger, he scored 5 goals and registered 6 assists, and his direct running and pace could offer something different on the flanks to the likes of Mkhitaryan and Iwobi. Whilst Reiss Nelson hasn't had the best of pre-seasons, he showed glimpses of potential, and when on loan at Hoffenheim last season he scored a goal on average every 90 minutes in the Bundesliga, and his ability to play in all 3 positions behind the striker could again be invaluable to the pragmatic Emery. Finally, 18-year-old new boy Gabriel Martinelli could also break into the first team this season. At just 17 years old, Martinelli was directly involved in 0.5 goals per game in the Paulista A1 last season before he sealed his transfer to Arsenal. While still raw, it's important for these youngsters to get minutes, especially in the Europa League. As with a 30-year-old Aubameyang and Ozil, as well as a 28-year-old Lacazette, Arsenal could be looking for attacking replacements in the next couple of years. Anyway guys, what do you think? How would you set Arsenal up next season? Get into the comments below, put in your formations, who you'd start, who you'd bin, all the good stuff, and where are Arsenal going to finish in the Premier League next season? I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new, like that goddamn video, and anyway, see you later. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more content on the Statman Dave YouTube channel?